welcome back to Dope Discussions with Dick and Dank. We are in our Cortucky Studio, garage version. Dick is here today.
What's up?
And today, very special guest, Jeff Sankson. And he brought his manager, Courtney. He's from the Dispensary, the Rec Room there in Fulton. And then you also have another location, where?
In East Dubuque, and then we just opened a third in Champaign.
Champaign, all right. So spreading the love. I like it. Any more future locations planned?
Not at the moment. No, we'll have to see for some additional licensing rounds. So
Sure. Now, I'm curious now. I think probably by design you chose a location just outside of the Quad Cities. Maybe not be direct competition with, because there's 3 right now in the Quad Cities.
I think that's
Revolution, Nature's Treatment,
And Terrace.
And Terrace. So yeah, this kind of is nice. It keeps you separate. You can have your customers that are loyal within that drive. You can attract your Iowa customers that, technically you're not supposed to bring it back, but they can come over and enjoy it and buy it and have a good time. See their Illinois friends.
You guys got the northwest corner of Illinois cornered.
Yeah,
that's smart.
Yeah, we kind of.
Now, Courtney, how far away do you think people are coming to your dispensary? Now, I know I drove the day it became legal. I drove all the way to Ottawa to get some.
Wow.
And that was standing in line, COVID, you're out of the street, and they're like taking your order, before you walked in. It's a good time.
We get people that drive pretty far. We see a lot. I mean, a good portion of our customers, definitely that Iowa customer base. But especially in the summertime when we get a lot of that, river traffic, a lot of that out of town traffic. We've seen licenses from other countries. We've seen driver's licenses from Texas, Alaska. So we've definitely seen them from everywhere.
Well, you're busy every time I go. I mean, that's a steady flow, and that's every dispensary. And part of the reason for this podcast is because, granted, there's more people trying it than are probably talking about it. And I like to talk about it. I like to be open about it, share my experiences, how it's helping me, and how I use it every day to just function. Now, so again, we don't want people to be afraid to try it, but we want them to be responsible, obviously. If they've never smoked before, maybe an edible is a good idea. Edibles tend to sneak up on you, which is a good and bad. I tend to forget. It's like, man, what is going on? Oh, yeah, the edible. But you also can, we're going to go out to dinner with friends, and about 2 hours before you go, popping the edible, hits right in dinner time. It's like, I'm having a great time. I don't need the alcohol. I don't have a headache, and I just...
Food tastes better.
Oh, everything's better. So that's why I love weed. The anxiety, the depression, it makes food better, makes sex better, makes, you name it, music better, movies better, everything's better on weed. Anybody in this room disagree?
Nope.
No.
That's what I thought. So everybody should know about that so they can have those same experiences. We just had AD in the morning from Vintage Radio 107.7 on here, and he's just fully supportive of, I'm glad you guys are pushing weed over pills, for mental health and stability. It's like, it's there for a reason. It's nature's treatment. It's a plant. It's I say Garden of Eden. It's been here. It's here for us. It's here for a reason. It's natural. And there's just, what we don't know, what I don't know, is all the different strains and varieties. And that's where Joe's been coming on. So other than Joe, because he's mostly on the medical side, I'd like to push more your recreational side. I mean, what are some of the questions that, are probably the smarter questions for people to come in that have never tried weed before? They come in for the first time to the rec room. They don't know. You get your very trusted bud tenders up there. And I've asked some of the dumbest questions. They're very helpful, but any suggestions for new people to the dispensary?
First off, I'd like to say there isn't a dumb question. But be honest with your bud tenders. Let them know, what you're looking for. Are you wanting to relax? Are you wanting to have a good time? Let them know the exact experience and effects you're wanting to achieve so they can find the route. And let them know what you're not comfortable with. If you're walking in and you're like, smoking's not my thing, let them know, because they're going to find a good edible for you. If you're walking in and you definitely, you took an edible once when you were 14 and it scared you off for the rest of your life because it happened to be a brownie somebody made at home and was a little too much, that's okay too. Let them know, and they're going to find you a different route that will keep you comfortable as well. Just be honest with them, and they're always going to lead you in the right direction.
So it's curious, because the edibles is something I'm trying to get more into, because at first when you're buying the edibles, they're giving you the 10-pack, nice reasonable price, but they're like 5 and 10 milligrams each. Well, now I'm going to have to take half the package at once, and it's like it feels like a waste. But now I've seen you guys have the Uncle Arnie's little shots.
Yes.
I love those. They got caffeine in them, and then they have the 50 milligram gummies. So now I can just take the one. Way better. I like and I don't like. I don't like the delay. That's why I like to smoke it. But I do like that it lasts longer. I can plan ahead. I don't have the odor, and it's just easier for people that are novices. So the variety of edibles, gosh, how many different milligram varieties are? I know there's a low dose, and I've got the high doses. They're like
There's
several
quite a
companies are making them, and probably
few in
making them
the
all
middle.
different ways. Yeah. What's the most popular brand you have?
Right now, probably our Wild brand.
Wild.
It's probably the most popular across the board. They do the Wild and the Good Tide.
They're kind of a higher end gummy, aren't they?
Yeah.
Or maybe it's not just gummies,
Not-
but I've only seen.
And not even price wise, they're just flavor wise. They offer vegan, and then they use pectin over actual gummy. So consistency wise, they're what most people are looking for.
Okay.
Is that the ones? Do they come in a tin?
No, so they're gonna come in. It's kind of an odd shaped box, and inside the box is just like a little nice white plastic jar.
It looks like the Harry Potter box.
Yes,
Yeah.
the frog, the chocolate
Yes.
frog.
Oh, I'm
out
so
of there.
glad you guys know what I was talking about.
I'm not
Nice.
the only one that thinks.
I'm not a Harry Potter guy, but my kids are huge Harry Potter guys. So when we were in Florida, we went to. I'm glad you guys know what I was talking
The Wizarding
Yes.
World.
Yes. And it's kind of the same thing.
Right.
I mean, Harry Potter, weed, same thing.
Hey,
Magic.
It's all
Right.
magic,
Exactly.
right,
It's a
right.
magic herb.
Yep. So cool.
Now, I've been buying the funnies. I know they're a pretty
Yes.
popular brand,
Oh yeah.
and they make everything funny.
I like that 50 milligram gummy
Yeah.
Yeah.
because you can take 2 or 3 and
Macro doses are getting more popular.
Well, I think I figure as the tolerance builds up, I need more of a starting level, which I've noticed on the smoking now, which is good and bad. It's the experience helps me to control it.
Yeah.
Because
Sure.
and I know other people in this house disagree with my openness, but I smoke it all day. And I smoke it while I work. I work from home, so it's nice. I'm not
yeah.
operating heavy equipment, but it helps me focus, stay in the moment, concentrate. I work in customer service, and I'm nicer to the customers. They're not making me angry, so I think it's a win-win. And I don't know if you guys have had a chance to listen to previous episodes or kind of the history, but I was in a pretty bad car accident, spent a month in the hospital, had a traumatic brain injury, and then since then had to change roles and work from home, and I guess from the outside it might look like a slow decline in functionality, and then depression and anxiety, and my neighbor can attest to it because he's seen me before the accident, after the accident, in recovery, and then on drugs after the accident, and now on weed. And he'll say hands down, weed. I mean, he can't argue that. His wife's a user, so he doesn't himself, but it's like he gets it. She uses it for anxiety, and it's I can't talk enough about it. So I want to get everybody I can to go to the Dispensary and the Rec Room. I've never had a bad experience there. Your bud tenders are always nice and caring, and it's unique though going to the rec side versus the medical side, because the medical side it actually feels like a doctor's office. You go in and there's, because a lot of you probably haven't even been in there, there's like a little waiting room, in case there's already somebody in there with a bud tender, and then once it's your turn you go in, so you can have that one-on-one semi-confidential conversation with your bud tender about, hey, this is what I'm struggling with, this is what's going on. But then you go in the rec room and it's just a big open room. They're all lined up. You probably get, if it's not that busy, which is probably rare, but you get your pick. I want that bud tender or something. Otherwise, it's whoever's available, first come, first serve. But I'm sure you get people building a relationship and a rapport with your bud tenders. They accept tips, which is why we call them a bud tender, like a bartender. But because they do, they're a consultant.
Absolutely.
it took me way too long to figure out why I was a bud tender versus a bartender.
Oh yeah, that term's been around for a long time. But,
So to that, what's your experience? Because you've got a ton of experience in the field.
Yeah. I mean, I started in the pre-legalization days. I guess
Yep.
you could say early Colorado days. It was medical. It was before kind of the federal government kind of recognize, like, even like, hey, we're not going to touch people who are, state compliant with their operations. So this was still just kind of the Wild West. You don't know if the DEA is going to come knocking at
Right.
the time.
Now you were a part of the was it CNN series High Profits?
Yeah, which followed, Breckenridge Cannabis Club's first year in recreational. So I was with them a little bit before, the recreational times in 2014.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of helped with that transition from, I guess we call it like the non-traceability or state regulated, market. To transitioning more into that, traceability system and state inspectors and that.
Now,
detail.
unfortunately, I'd never heard of that series before, probably because I don't watch much CNN. But since then, now that I heard about that and heard you were on this, like I started watching, and I think it's very interesting to watch. Just the very startup, very similar to what you guys went through with Fulton, because I'm sure you had to go to the city board. You had to ask for the license and say, hey guys, we want to open a dispensary in Fulton. We're going to be able to bring this much revenue to the town. And I've heard, because I know people that work for the city, the amount of revenue you're bringing to the town is amazing. And the things that they'll be able to do with that. It's hard to
new
say.
ballparks for kids. Yeah. Not that I'm not saying they're doing that.
Whatever, but they're not going to regret their decision by allowing you to. And now you're growing it. You have your grow facility right there, and you have your dispensary. Now, the grow facility, I did drive by there the other day. Very, very nice looking building. Looks state of the art. A lot of, I could tell it was yours. Now, you don't advertise. I could tell it was yours. They had these huge, duct work to basically get all the air out and filtration and stuff. I can imagine. So it looks like it. So now you're growing. How much square footage? Can you tell us a little bit more about your grow facility there?
Yeah, the grow right now is a little under, 5,000 square feet of flowering canopy space. So, with the Illinois craft grow licenses, they tiered it to a 3-tier process for your canopy space, starting about the 5,000 square foot range, going all the way up to roughly 15,000 square feet by the time you hit all the requirements to get there. And it all goes through sell-through. So once you're selling, about 80% of what you're producing for a 6-month time period, you can apply to increase your canopy space. So we're just starting off at tier 1 there, and as we get some product to sell through, we'll look towards expanding.
Okay, so this facility is brand new then?
Brand new.
Okay,
yeah.
so I didn't know if you opened it when you opened the dispensary, because the dispensary's been open for how long now?
Going on 9.
9 years.
9 years.
Holy cow.
Wow, I would have never guessed
for
that.
medical, and then 4 years for recreational.
Nice. And so the grow facility is brand new.
Yeah, brand
And this
new.
is going to help you control the cost of the product, probably more reasonable for the customer, because then you're growing it, it's in-house, your brand.
And a better product, too.
Yeah, I would imagine, You control everything of it.
Yeah.
So is there, what name is this brand? Do you have that?
Yeah, it's called Sol-Canna, Solcanna. So
Okay, Sol-Canna. I like it.
Sol-Canna, yeah.
Cannabis for the soul. I like it.
We're new. We just had our first harvest, waiting for testing to come out now. Hoping to have product on the shelves late April, early May.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Just after 420, or just in time.
Yeah, or
maybe.
just in time.
I
we'll
like
see.
it.
Yeah, waiting for the packaging. Fingers
Now
crossed.
we'll get to that. So now under this facility, your first grow, how many different strains are you growing at once?
It really depends. We brought on a lot of genetics in the beginning to kind of sift through. Not everything's obviously a keeper. So I think we had about 14 strains in our first flower room, followed by another 14 independent strains in the second flower room, and then another 10 in the third. So about 38 to 40 strains there to initially cycle through. Again, the initial period, it's kind of finding exactly what we're looking for resin production, terpenes, and weight, as it's a cash
And
crop
as soon as
here,
that's
so-
out, I think I'm going to have my new favorite brand, because it's going to be so fresh.
Well,
Because it literally has to go like 10 blocks or something.
I was kind of thinking I was going to volunteer to take your shitty product, the stuff that you don't like out of those 30
I was
varieties.
like,
I'll get rid of it for you.
Right. Safe, secure disposal.
Right.
Yeah.
Series of small fires.
Yep.
I
Exactly.
like it. So.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, do you...
Well,
Sorry, go ahead.
out of the strains, You got a front runner for a favorite. What's the name?
Ooh, that is tough. You haven't tried too many of them yet, have you, Courtney? For me personally, we have one coming out called Ghost Cookies. Fantastic strain. Double strawberry diesel, and one of the ones I just checked out in our cure bin today that I haven't had the privilege of trying yet is Holy GMOE. It's Red Runs.
Holy GMOE.
GMO, so GMO.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, I got you.
Holy moly, but
Okay.
Holy GMO. Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. So those are strains that we can look forward to when your new product comes out, Sol-Canna. Man, I'll be there to get some. Just Joe will hook me up on the medical side, I'm sure.
Yeah. Oh.
So
for sure.
right now you're curing it, and you said you're getting it tested.
Correct. Yes.
Now we've talked before on the podcast about the testing because I don't think you've sent stuff you grown off to get tested, but they're testing all the different levels of THC. But we're finding out that there's a range of acceptance for variance on. So if they're telling you it's 22%, it really could be 18 to 24% or something.
I don't know the exact range that they put on there for the variants in their testing, so I can't speak too much to that yet. Hopefully I can.
But how much does the THC level really make a difference in your opinion?
It's a component of the overall synergy of the plant. As time goes on, people bring the conversation into more of the terpenes and the minor cannabinoids and how everything works together. So as THC is an important factor for a lot of people as the industry progresses. I think we'll see more in the terpene content, which it's a large part of the conversation these days. But the canna technology for dispensaries really hasn't gotten to the place to pull those minor cannabinoids and terpenes from the testing facilities to display them on a menu. How many menus do you see where you can shop by terpene content?
Yeah.
It's like I think the tech side is still catching up a little bit to the science for us to be
because they haven't been able to study it
to market that.
It's been illegal.
And even if we could, without having a detailed conversation, how many of my consumers are going to know what beta carotene or limonene or pinene is or what it does?
But as I experiment with my functionality and day jobs, because we talked about the terpenes, and I'd like to be able to have the variety to taste and try. It's like, today I was better on this one versus this one, but this is how I shop due to cost. I go there, it's like, all right, how much can I get for as little as I can to last me as long? And I usually start with highest THC because I feel I'm getting my money's worth. That's just personally how I shop, but it's usually I'll notice the higher THC. I'll feel the effect, and I will. I'll enjoy it more usually when it is a higher. I like the infused stuff. I like sometimes they have the infused shakes where they put the sand in it. And those are great.
As the consumer, you don't really have much more to go off of because, depending on the specific cut of the strain you get, there could be vastly different terpenes or even cannabinoids in there and how it was grown. So unless you have the actual data for the specific batch of the strain that you're looking to purchase, you can't really take the generalization of, I'm looking at sour diesel, it should have these prominent terpenes because, you never know. A lot of people
even on the same strain, it can be pretty inconsistent?
Yeah.
Depending on how it was grown and taken care for, which he's noticed on his own personal growing. Which is kind of how we're able to learn because we've got a lot of our followers on Instagram are growers themselves, and just because those are the people that are out there that I'm trying to get attracted to our show, like everybody that's interested in weed here, follow me please. But he's learning. I think you said you were disappointed in your last grow.
Oh yeah, my last grow sucked. He was like, "Hey, bring some of your crap over so they can try it." I'm like, this one sucked.
Like going in the brownies.
Yeah, well, it's smokable, but barely.
Sure.
My first grow, it wasn't my first grow, but my first in my tent, second in my tent. I knocked it out of the park. I had like goat glue, and it was just white with just covered in shit. And you had some of that, but this one is.
I like it.
This one is not good. I found out like in the wintertime, it's difficult to cure it properly in a basement.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, temp and humidity control is so important.
Huge, yeah. But anyway, so that's what it is.
But yeah, and I mean, even to take it another layer, right? I mean, there's no one regulating like this is for sure Gorilla Glue or this is sour diesel, right? So I mean, there's nothing saying the cultivator that you're purchasing your just say sour diesel from us actually has sour diesel. You know,
Do
they
you
could
think
have
that will
taken-
come, and do you think it needs to?
It's something that I constantly fight. We see big cultivators like renaming genetics. On our end, we can see what it was brought into the cultivation facility as, and then what they're naming it as the wholesale component. But yeah, there's nothing regulating that, and I think it does a disservice to the breeders that. spend
So
a
I
lot
could
of
bring in some
time.
flower that I grew and say, "Oh, this is Durban diesel. It's great," and we're like, "Okay, I trust you."
Right, and yeah, that's 100% what it is.
I mean,
these
the flower. They
days,
are
right?
flowers. They are unique. They look different. Now, did you grew the same strain twice, right? Different
Yep,
times.
yep.
Did the flowers look the same when they?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So you could tell a difference, and you could tell by looking at it.
They won't always, though. You
Okay.
gotta think
Right.
like so. I mean, with genetics,
But you could tell if it wasn't
I mean,
grown right if it doesn't look right.
Yes. Or it could just be like really shitty genetics as well.
Well, like if you're going to the fruit stand, this is a good apple. This is an apple, but it looks like shit.
Sure.
I should be able to look at this bud that's goat glue, and this bud is goat glue.
Yeah,
Well, this
yeah.
one looks like shit.
Sure. Yeah.
This one looks great. Are they going to smoke the same?
What he's trying to say. Sorry, I don't mean to cut
No,
off.
you're good.
To put it into perspective, what he's trying to say is like Pioneer versus DeKalb genetics. Like,
Okay.
you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Well, even as we get in, most plants aren't,
Which I can understand that.
sex-oriented plants, right? You're taking a mother and a father, and you're taking a ton of seeds out of this, so a ton of offspring. If you and your wife have four
All right,
kids,
all
they're
right.
not all going to look
No,
the same,
okay,
right?
now I can understand that
Some are
perfect.
gonna
I
have
can
more
understand that now.
expressions from one
Yeah, yeah.
parent than the other. So I could pop 10 sour diesels, and 5 of them might look more like their mom, and 5 of them might
Okay.
look more than
Now
their dad.
I'm getting it. Now that makes
yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Now
Which
now-
is why I do clones.
Okay, and that's what I
Yeah.
was gonna ask. So he does clones.
Yeah,
So clone is, I would say, controllable. Then it should
Yeah.
ideally be the
Yep.
exact same.
100%. Yeah.
Is that how you guys do grows then?
Up to an extent. Like, there's like a lifespan.
I guess there's
for
probably
like a
only so
mother
many clones you can
plant
get.
and stuff. So we'll
Because then it's
pop-
like a copy of a copy of a copy. It gets weaker
right.
over time.
Yeah, it's going to
Okay.
degrade over time. But there's typically ways to preserve those genetics. And when we pop seeds, we'll pop 50 to 100 different seeds, and we'll try to find the best expression. What we're looking
Cull
for.
half of them or
So
something.
can you
I
tell
gotcha.
from the seeds quality?
You got to pop them and grow them out, and then you're
Okay.
gonna take your clones from there.
How long
So-
into the grow can you tell if it's going to be quality?
Usually not until the end,
Really? Okay, not till it flowers.
Because a lot of the time, it really depends. There can be different expressions of your terpenes. So, if you're looking for a specific
I gotcha.
terpene, a lot of it's going to come from the test results. So we'll clone everything. We'll keep copies of everything until we can get through some testing and really figure out, we might be able to see the weight. Like, ideally, we're looking for, the weight on this plant, but it might test like shit, So we got it's great for bulk production, but really, that's when breeding comes into play, right? We're trying to take the production value of this plant, but like really pump in the terpenes and the potency of this other plant. So we're trying to breed.
Stoners are so dumb.
Exactly.
Oh my god, I love hearing shit like this because like I didn't become a stoner until 7-8 years ago.
Sure, yeah.
Way into my older, and like I grew up in the 80s and 90s. We're probably about the same age, so Dare and all that bullshit.
Oh,
Right.
And
yeah.
Stoners are dumb and all,
Oh,
so
yeah.
up until I knew sooner, but really, I didn't know a lot of stoners up until 10 years
Same.
ago.
Well, and that's why that was my struggle, because I had one friend, guy on the couch, who isn't here today, but he was the only other guy I knew that really smoked weed that I could talk to, and he's been smoking since he was in high school. So he
Yeah.
was showing me how to make a beer can,
Yeah.
make a
Oh,
bong
yeah.
out of a can. So we did it on an episode ago, so just so I could try it, because I'd never done. It's like, well, I want to try it. So I could only talk with him. And then I found this guy is like, well, I smoke weed all the time. He's like, I like you. You're my new best friend. So we've been making this show. Like he says, hey, want to start a podcast? Okay. Let's talk about weed. Okay. And it's been pretty fun.
That's the way it's gone. So what, do you remember your first time smoking?
Oh man, yeah.
What was it?
Forever ago. Oh, just really shitty bag weed, you know,
Really?
like the 4-finger bads, picking the stems and seeds out. I'm pretty sure we were all there, you know. It was before like really like the indoor, everything was hydroponic weed back then when you're getting the quality, but it was like, you know, $20 a gram, are you out of your goddamn mind, you know?
Right.
But like, you know, because you went from just a fat bag of brick weed to, you know, kind of transitioning over to
The better.
the
Good weed.
quality stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, what'd you
so-
pay for?
Yeah, it was like, you know, early high school when I started smoking cannabis for sure.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool. How about you, Courtney?
Early high school, definitely.
Okay.
And then I stopped for a while after high school and then got back into it probably in my mid-20s.
Okay. And have you got the whole time pretty much?
Whole time, I graduated from smoking to being the local friend that had the goods you needed.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
You went legal.
Yeah, and then just progressed. I was like, hey, I know how to do this. I
can
do
go
it for a
legit.
living, you know? Yeah. So,
Right.
I like it. I'm thankful.
Yeah.
So then so you were growing it then before it was legal?
Yes.
All right, and then so now how did that transition? You had to get a license, obviously?
Yeah. So I mean, out in Colorado, even the company I was with, they already had their medical license, which is just then graduated into a recreational license. But
I gotcha.
yeah,
Okay.
we
Now
just-
your official title is principal officer?
You know, that's like the badge that I hold as someone with a controlling interest in the company. You know, this
Okay.
isn't my company. I just run it on behalf of the owner.
Sure.
So
Okay.
I'm the director of operations, but I oversee, you know.
You oversee the grow
everything.
facility, the rec, all the locations.
Yes.
You're
Yeah.
his right-hand guy.
Yep. I have you know, I have the head grower that really is the meat and potatoes,
Yeah.
the grow facility.
Sure.
But you know, as things get dialed in, we start to have some sales and can look at our overhead and things. You know, we'll be seeing what's making sense, what's not, and constantly pivoting from there. So.
All right. Now, you know, just for future ideas to further this, would it be possible that we could record an episode in the grow facility where we could talk and see? And
I don't think so. That would be
Okay.
very
Yeah, I didn't know,
difficult,
but
you
I
know,
just
with-
thought I'd ask.
With regulations.
Sure.
Yeah. But it's not to say we can't get creative in
Yeah.
the future, you know, one way or another.
Sure.
So, you know,
Can you give tours?
keep it on the table. Occasionally with state approval. You
Oh,
know,
wow.
Wow.
It's definitely.
so they want to know who's in there.
I won't
who's
ask
looking
again
at.
until
Yeah,
I won't be
yeah.
that guy.
You're right.
I got you. I
Copies of
understand.
licenses.
Sure.
What are you doing there? How long are you going to be there?
Oh,
Yeah.
sure.
Oh,
No,
yeah,
no,
we don't-
you're good.
We don't need that. You're good.
No,
You're good.
I'm not that curious.
No, hey, it's
Now, speaking of that, as far as what's allowed, what's not allowed, you have your 420 celebration coming up, which is on 4/19 because of Easter.
It is this year. We are celebrating on 4/19, so our staff can have 4/20 off to spend with their families, since Snoop Dogg and the Easter Bunny are going to visit the same night this year.
Nice.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, that's awesome.
You
These
have to
things
leave
get
milk
awesome.
and cookies and the joint out this
Yeah, I'm gonna have to infuse a chocolate bunny.
There you
So,
go.
what's planned for that day then for that cell? Because you got like a big outside event, food vendors, right?
Yeah, we like to bring in some food vendors. So this year we know for sure we've got a Creative Caravan food vendor coming. We've got lots of craft vendors coming and setting up. We believe you guys will be coming up, setting up, talking to
Yes,
some
I
people
will be
as
there
well.
if I'm allowed. I'd like to. One, we'll be live streaming on Instagram, so that people from wherever can listen and see what's going on. And then I want to get some sound bites from the customers and get an idea of their first time or whatever, and so we can just kind of add to our portfolio. Say, so
Are
to
they doing
speak.
the same at Champaign and East Dubuque?
Yeah, they're doing some festivities,
For
you
the
know.
most part, we all switch it up a little bit depending
Okay.
on we all have a little bit different demographic as far as sales market.
Oh, that makes sense. Yep.
You know, it used to be, it's definitely got a little bit more of the college town. They've got the Galena territory where
Yeah.
you got a little more, you know, money area where I'm Fulton, Illinois. We've got, you know, farmland, smaller communities.
And factories.
Yes,
Yep.
exactly.
I got you.
Now, like, will we be allowed to smoke that day?
So unfortunately, Illinois rules and regulations does not allow consumption at dispensaries, period, as of right now. Hopefully things will change in the future.
Okay, and I can understand that. I didn't know if there was like a 1-day permit or something they could get, because they can have, you're not allowed to drink in the street, but they can shut it down for Dutch days, and we can
Yeah.
drink in the street. Now it's okay.
Keep bugging the city.
Occasionally, you can get things like sesh buses.
Those are
Dispensaries-
costly.
Dispensaries in the cities get those. Some cultivators will bring them out. As of right now, it's not something that the city, you know, that we're currently in is looking to have, but we're still trying.
What would it take for you guys to have your own sesh bus?
The city would have to allow on-site consumption, which
But what would it take for you to have your sesh bus, but not use it on site? Like people can have you come to their house. Because that's what they're doing. They have a party, the sesh bus comes, kind of like a party bus,
oh yeah,
but you're smoking weed. So what would it take for Fulton to have that for like special occasion? Like if I want to have a Dick and Dank party at the Edge and have a sesh bus come down, that's what we were thinking. So then we can smoke weed in his trailer at the Edge, you know.
yeah. It's still up to the city, so it's still a special use permit given from the city. So they still
Wherever you're using it or where it's licensed out of.
oh,
You're
where-
using it.
yeah,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You could have it in Fulton, never use it in Fulton, but you could use it. Somebody wants to have a party at their house, bring the sesh bus.
Yeah, but they'd have to make sure that Moline allows it, Rock Island allows it.
So
That-
no,
that's
no,
what you're-
it's wherever
Private
it's
property?
going. So like, if it's private property, you don't need any
Yeah,
permits. Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's in my driveway.
Oh.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that requires no permits. You can do that tomorrow. So.
Donnie owns the Edge. It's in his parking lot.
Sounds like you guys need to do the Soul what?
Sol-Canna,
Sol-Canna bus.
right?
And have your own. Then you got to sell it. Well, I mean, in the bus.
We could bring, we could sample it out.
Yeah, you can
so,
samples
you know.
are okay because you're not selling.
Yeah,
Sounds like
you
a
know.
good business.
So you
I
rent
dig
the
it.
bus, we play music, you're paying for the driver, you're paying for the education, and then we give you weed
Yeah.
to try.
Hell yeah.
Though they have them in Chicago, but to come out here, you know, they charge per mile, and it was gonna be like well
I
over
can
$1,000
get
or
them
something.
out here. I just can't. Oh, you're saying for the private residents? Yeah.
Right, like if I
Fulton
want to do
won't allow
something
it.
at the Edge and bring
Yeah.
that's what I was. This is what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Was I wanted a Dick and Dank sesh bus party at the Edge, sponsored by the Dispensary.
Yeah.
So that we're all involved, our name's on it all, we advertise, and then we can smoke weed at the Edge with our listeners.
Oh, I never thought of that.
Let's keep chatting about it. I mean,
See?
I love
Now we're
doing
on to
private
something.
parties.
Because I'm trying to talk Donnie into, he's got like a phone booth out behind the Edge, and can we smoke weed in there? Like, how do we make this like, he made a weed blower.
Oh,
So he
yeah.
took his leaf blower and made a
Yeah.
bowl for the top, and
Yes.
so we fogged his garage when Just Joe came down and joined us. So it was a good time. There are pictures on the website, but so things like that where you could party, you can enjoy weed. Because I go to the Edge. Thankfully, he now has Happy Water or Bent Water, I think it's called now.
Sure.
So I mean, I like alcohol. I drink alcohol, but I'd rather smoke weed.
Yeah.
So now I can go hang out at what's the other one downtown, Port Byron?
Blue Suede.
Blue Suede, they have it too. So now I can go there, I can drink with the people, but I'm drinking weed water.
Yeah.
And of course, then they're asking me, well, do you notice? Like, well, I was kind of high when I started drinking. So I don't know, but it kept it going, and I'm still drinking something the whole time. I don't have to feel like, oh, I'm just gonna drink water,
Right.
you know. And then everybody's like, what's that? Well, I'll try one. So now I try and go everywhere I go. I try and ask for it,
Yeah.
so people can start stocking at places.
So what? Speaking of that, what would you? So if you were going to tell somebody like the top 3 things that you need to be ready for when you're coming to the dispensary at the first time, what would that be? Because you're kind of running the dispensary part, right? For them.
Oddly enough, valid ID.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because-
Just like a bar.
Heavy on the valid.
Valid.
Yes.
Yeah. Like not cracked, you know.
Right.
Not
Do you
in
take
half.
Not your
passports?
brothers.
Yes. Yep.
Okay, so they
Valid
can bring
ID
a passport.
or passport.
Okay.
Cash or debit only. We cannot take credit cards.
Debit is handy.
Yeah.
And and I've been there. The debit, so people don't get confused. They round it up to the nearest $5, and then they charge you a fee for using a debit card. And to me, I'm like, well, it's the same I would have paid at the ATM.
Right.
Before I got
Cashless,
there.
it's
Yes.
cashless ATM.
So that's how they get away with it. They're able to use it like an ATM service, basically, as you're paying for your weed. So,
Plus, you can just tip them with that few bucks
Exactly.
extra easier.
yeah, Just Joe
Make sure
appreciates that.
Make sure you tip your bud tender.
Always tip your bud tender.
Okay. What else?
And then the last thing, kind of have an idea of what you're looking for or what you want to achieve, because going in with no idea can be very overwhelming when you start looking at the menu and seeing all
That it
the
is.
options.
Okay.
So if you go in like first time, I know I just want to try a pre-roll and a pack of edibles. Kind of have a goal of the two things you're looking for, and it's a lot easier not to get overwhelmed with the size of the menu.
Good
Yeah.
idea. Good
Most
idea.
people want to try and smoke it because that's what's traditional. They want to feel the cough, get the whole experience. But edibles are a great way to go.
Do you think that people should get hung up on sativa versus indica for their first trip? Do you think that's important?
It can be.
Okay.
Myself, I struggle with anxiety. I am not somebody who necessarily can use sativa very often, or
Okay.
if ever. I stick more hybrid indica. Hybrids are my daytime, indicas are my nighttime. If I do a sativa, because I am climbing the walls.
I got you.
Okay.
So maybe try a little bit, and if the first time doesn't work, hey, let's not give up and say this stuff sucks. This isn't for me.
Yes.
Maybe
All right.
it was a
So-
sativa, and I should go more hybrid. So that's where just Joe and your other bud tenders would really come in to help.
Curious question. A lot of people's poor experience the first time was paranoia. Was it because they have anxiety and they tried sativa?
Probably.
So maybe indicas, if you're going to smoke it, is the way to go the first time.
Or maybe a hybrid.
And lower, don't go in your first time and look for the 34%
Right.
THC.
Good
For
idea.
sure. Don't get the infused
know.
pre-roll.
Go in and look for something, 19 to 21%. I know sometimes people look at it and, man, it's still going to have those great terpenes. It's going to have that great flavor. It's still going to come through and
Yeah.
great effects. And for your first time, it's not going to be as
Not as harsh.
overwhelming.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not as
that makes
harsh.
sense.
Yeah. Ease into it.
Try to tell people as well, you don't need to go in, like what's an indica, what's a sativa.
Right.
Just go in with an idea of how you want to feel. I've been down lately. I could use like some giggles, or I've really been having a hard time sleeping, and we try to recommend people to keep that journal because going on to the conversation of is it more THC? Yes, we don't need to like throw a bunch of really hard to pronounce big terms at you, but if you could just start with feelings you're familiar with,
Right.
we can bridge that conversation as our teams are going to have the knowledge of,
That's a good
knowing
idea.
if you need to be more awake, maybe you're looking for something high in pinene or limonene or something that has more of the cerebral clarity.
Good idea.
So,
Yeah.
we can guide you as long as we know how you want to feel
Right.
today.
Well, and I like your website. It has that exact feature where you can, how do you want to feel? You can just click and choose your weed or your product based on your feeling. You can choose like, I like flower, I want to feel happy. Or I want an edible and I want to go to sleep. You can choose that, and that's handy. And if you don't want to hang out in the dispensary, you can pre-order and just walk in. It's ready, you pay for it, and walk out. So, and that's nice. And I've been doing that a lot with the medical side, because then just Joe knows I'm coming in. Dank's coming in because I got his pre-order. But no, he takes care of me on the medical side. So with that, he's been talking to some of the customers in there and telling them about our podcast, which I appreciate. But the other part of this where I thought we could expand is talking to the customers, talking to the people that enjoy the products, and have them tell their story. Just like tell their first time or why they use, because everybody's got a story to tell.
Yeah.
And I just think that's going to be great for the community of weed, our show, and everybody involved. And and people can say, hey, I was on a podcast. They can tell their friends and family, hey, go listen to me on the internet.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah. So that's where I'm thinking we're going with this. And
I think that's a great idea. I mean, just getting more people talking about cannabis really
Right.
helps the stigma, right?
that's what I'm trying to do. That's my goal right there. I don't want to have to. Is anybody looking? I don't want to have to feel like that because I use it every day and I need it.
Right.
Well, and it's cool. I mean, like, just look at the four of us here, how different we are. You got tattoos and gauges.
Yeah.
I'm a farmer. You're a chick. You're
Me.
you.
Dang.
I mean, but we're all
I'm
all
a
different.
corporate
You know what I mean?
stand,
We're
working
all
from home
using
guy.
and
course.
it helps us all.
Yeah. Like I said, you go to the dispensary, sit in the parking lot, all walks of life come up there. Everybody.
Absolutely, you know,
From 90 to 21, right? You have to be
Yeah.
21. Yeah.
it's great to see.
Except on medical.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, we'll see all walks of life on medical. You know, there's no age restriction there
Yeah.
as long as you know you have the second.
Well,
position.
and Just Joe's girlfriend, I mean, she has night terrors, and she's been using weed to treat that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he wakes up with bruises.
Oh man.
So I mean, you're using, I got glaucoma or whatever you can say, but there's treated so many things with weed.
Absolutely.
And why aren't we talking about it and telling everybody?
Agreed. That's why we're doing this.
Exactly. So let's see. We talked about CNN first time. Oh, method of choice. So if you're gonna smoke, or is it usually flower you go to,
You know,
or dabs, or
I'm mostly flower personally. You know,
Okay.
I'm not an everyday, all day smoker. You know, I used to get shit from my employees. You know, when I was
Sure.
head of cultivation because I'm not the one smoking all day. And that's okay. You know,
Yeah.
Cannabis affects everyone differently.
Absolutely.
I am not what I call a functioning stoner. I'm not a social smoker. You know,
and you know that, and you've realized
I
it.
kind of relax and shut down. Yeah, if I know I'm going out, like I'm not gonna be the one consuming edibles and passing around a joint. That's fine. It's just knowing how it reacts with you. I love cannabis. It's always helped me, but I'm gonna smoke a joint or a bowl while I'm in the comfort of my home. Mostly, so dabbing is still off limits for me 90% of the time. But
Me too. That's bad shit.
You didn't like that?
No.
So our episode number 2, Dab and Dick. So guy on the couch, he talked to me, and we tried dabs old school, where you got to heat up the end of the glass tube.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so we wanted to try.
No, thank you. I'm with you, dude.
Which it's a whole process that I didn't enjoy. But now they got the fancy little dab rigs where it's all connected, and still, I don't know, mess with all the little dabs and measuring and little spoons.
You
I
treated
didn't
you
like
well. You need to go back to hot knives, man. Let's go back.
I have no clue what that is.
What the hell is that?
Oh man,
So
hot.
when you got 2 knives really hot, you put the concentrate in between them till it literally smoked and just inhaled the smoke as it came off the 2 hot knives.
And
it was
the
Damn.
OG dabs.
Spiciest, hottest.
Yeah,
Dabs
you
you'd
did
ever
That is worse than the
Kinda
crack
wanna
pipe.
try
Yeah, you
I
got
kinda have to
if
try
you got an electric stove, you just put it in between the grates, let them heat up flat. Yeah, you drop
That's
the
what that.
hash.
I see that
hot.
stuff on the internet. I didn't know what that was.
Yeah,
Now you know
that's all.
something.
Yeah,
See,
2 butter
it's-
knives.
It's gonna be a party trick.
Yeah.
That's what
I've seen that. I had no idea. That's what that.
The cut off 2 liter, you know,
Yeah,
you drop
no
the hash,
shit.
press it. Yeah,
I had no
it.
idea.
Yeah, shoot.
I really am not an old stoner.
Well,
I'm an old stoner,
I
but
did
I'm
cut
not.
off a plastic bottle. We did try the gravity bong
Gravity
out
bong,
there.
yeah.
Yep. So I drilled a hole the same as this bowl there,
Yeah.
so I can just. That was the first time we tried that. I was like, it's a nice way. All things I've never tried. So like you see in the movies, like the 6-foot bong. Like I've never tried that.
Oh yeah.
I like glass, but I break glass, so I prefer the metal now. Or the disposable pop cans. This was in the shopping mall. He calls it a sex toy.
Looks like
So it's just a regular pop can
Yes.
with the rubber
Oh,
top on there. So
Genius.
and I love it. Pop can, throw it away, get a new one.
Right.
Done. But all right. So your method of choice, Courtney.
I do like my dabs, but I'm a sucker for just a joint. I
Okay.
really like my old school joints.
Yeah.
Me
Right
too.
on.
We'll all get along just fine. This weirdo out of it.
Weirdo. You call him? Well, valid. All right, and then what else? Anything else about the event?
So we are doing, because of Easter this year, we are doing what we're calling our Nug Hunt this year. So
Nug Hunt?
Yes.
Love it.
So it'll happen Friday and Saturday. On Med side, it'll be the first 50 people. On Rec side, it'll be the first 100 people. They will get to choose an Easter egg out of a bucket. That Easter egg will either contain a discount card, a free product like an edible or a pre-roll, and then 1 egg on each side each day will contain up to an ounce of free flour.
Oh,
Wow.
nice.
I like it.
And then you'll grab that before you go back so you can redeem your prize when you go back to pick up your purchase that day as well.
That's cool.
All right. What would you say is the headliner for the event? Besides us.
It's usually our doorbuster prizes. We have some pretty cool doorbuster prizes, especially 419. Ran at a random time throughout the day. On every hour, we give out a ticket. That ticket you redeem at the register. It'll win you some sort of free glass prize. Usually, we're giving out joints and edibles throughout the day with just about every purchase as well.
Fantastic. Well, we'll be streaming live that day, weather permitting, I suppose. We don't have a tent or anything. We're very low budget here.
For now.
For now.
Everyone
But
has to start somewhere.
exactly.
We won't be saying this when we're on the Joe Rogan experience.
You mean when Joe Rogan's on our show?
That's fair. That's fair. Is there anything that you want to mention that hasn't been mentioned?
Oh, come by and see us if you haven't. We pride ourselves on education, cannabis knowledge, and the consumer experience. Too many places these days are becoming just a revolving door of come over here and place an order on a tablet and then get in this line and then pick up your bag here. So we still want you to be able to have a conversation.
Yeah, and I love that.
Yeah,
I love talking to bud tender.
More
Right.
personalized.
Yeah,
I got you.
It's too many people are falling into what we call like the corporate weed Apple Store, mentality. So still want to keep the character of the culture alive.
Yeah.
So.
You're in a small town. You want that small town feel.
Right.
I like it. Personal touch.
Absolutely. So hoping for good weather this year. I think the past 2 years has been a little cold and windy. So
It is April.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a risk, but it's
Midwest isn't
420.
always nice in April, but we'll see.
How do people get to your menu?
Yeah, the dispensary Fulton.com. Order online, takes you right there. Everything's hosted by I Heart Jane. They're a fantastic company that really helps you navigate through all of our choices. With 500 plus different items on the menu, it can be
Overwhelming.
a lot. It can
Yeah.
be very overwhelming for people. So it's nice to be able to filter your choices down and find what you're looking for.
Cool.
Reminder, great feature, all of our prices do include tax on our menus.
Nice.
So you will never have to question if you're going to have to pay anything additional when you get to the store. Your checkout price on your cart online is going to be the same at the register.
Nice.
The other thing I noticed that you have sales all the time. So it's not like everything's on sale Thursday, Friday, or Monday, Tuesday. You have sales every day of the week on different products, different types. So I'm a veteran, so I save $10 every time I go, which I like. So it's all good things. It's all there to help. So
and keep an eye on those sales because we run similar sales every month, but we do swap those days. So if you can only shop with us Monday and Tuesday, that GTI 20% off.
Yeah.
It'll come around to you sometime in usually in a 3-month period. So check back, sign up for our communication assets, the Spring Big loyalty, stay in touch with us. So give us a way to text or email you and we'll keep you up to date on everything happening. So
Do you guys have like an Instagram that you put stuff out on?
we do, yeah.
Instagram and Facebook.
Okay.
Yep.
all right, it's all the dispensary. Yep. Follow us at our website, on Instagram, Dope Discussions _Dick or Mr. Dank 5, on YouTube at Mr. Dank 5, Blue Sky, Dick and Dank, and now, just as of a couple days ago, we're on Spotify.
Yep.
Oh,
You got to
nice.
search Dick and Dank Productions, and you'll get our whole catalog list that's straight on our website. So we are on Spotify now, so that's fantastic. We've got, today is episode 19. We're about to release a 80 in the morning episode. That'll go out this week.
Nice.
And then I've already got it edited, and then today is episode 19. So we're doing good.
Cool.
All right. Thank you guys very much for coming. It's been a pleasure. It's been a lot of fun, and we learned a lot.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks
Thank
for
you
having us.
Absolutely.
Now you're feeling sad. There's a place that'll make you glad. Tell you stories that you wanna hear, like what snacks go with beer. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. DICK&Dank.com. DICK&Dank.com. DICK&Dank.
something.
I like it.
You know? Is
Yeah,
that
that's
recording?
perfect.